Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Adam Burke from BangTheBook.com, coming to you with a look at game 371, 372 here. Georgia takes on Auburn. Georgia, 3-point favorite in this one, total of 40.5. The side fluctuating here in this game between 2.5 and 3 with extra juice, total coming down from 44 to 40.5. We'll have more insights on this game and every Week 12 college football game over at BangTheBook.com for you to check out. We're also covering the NHL, NBA, college basketball, the NFL, soccer, golf, tennis, NASCAR, UFC, esports, everything you can think of over at the website. So please make sure you head on over there and check it out. Also, make sure you check out Bang the Book Radio every Monday through Friday. You can listen to the segments right here on our Bang the Book YouTube page. But again, with this Georgia and Florida game, 2.5 or 3, the consensus number that's out there, Georgia's playoff hopes are still intact. And in fact, with the head-to-head tiebreaker over Florida, they can lock up the SEC East here with a win at Auburn this weekend. Otherwise, they'd have to beat Texas A&M. And, you know, it's one of those things where it's probably going to happen. It's just a matter of if it happens this week or next week. So Georgia's playoff hopes are still there. They'd have to beat LSU to get there, and the committee would very much overlook that loss to South Carolina if they were to knock off LSU or Alabama, depending on how things go the rest of the way in the SEC West. But this Auburn team, I mean, look, this is a close line. It could be a close game. Auburn has played very well in a bully role. They scored 55 against Kent State, 56 against Mississippi State, 51 against Arkansas. Other than that, they've scored 28 or fewer points in every game otherwise. So this total coming down from 44 to 40.5, probably indicative of what's happened with Auburn when they've stepped up in class and played some pretty good defenses. They had 299 yards against Texas A&M, 269 against Florida, 287 against LSU. They had a big yard edge last week against Ole Miss, only won the game by a few points. That shouldn't have been that close of a game. But Auburn has really struggled offensively when they've stepped up and played some better teams. Georgia very much falls into that category. Georgia's loss to South Carolina does not look great, and week after week it looks worse. But again, if they wind up running the table here, they will get into the college football playoff. That South Carolina loss, it will seem like it never happened. Pick 6 right before halftime dramatically changed the complexion of that game. Georgia badly outgained South Carolina. They just weren't able to score enough points to come away with that win. But people will overlook that here. And again, over the last 3 weeks, or the last 3 games, I should say, since that South Carolina loss, Georgia has allowed 17 points. 7 of those were a garbage time touchdown for Florida in that neutral site game in Jacksonville. So Georgia's been playing very, very well of late, very dominant on the defensive side. Now, Jake Fromm's been good. Jake Fromm hasn't been great. 13-3 touchdown interception ratio, that's solid. Only been sacked 5 times, that's very solid. But Georgia just doesn't have a lot of explosiveness to their offense. A lot of short throws for Fromm, crossing routes, out routes, really nothing down the field. And that does worry me a little bit here against Auburn. Now, Auburn's only allowing 6.4 yards per pass attempt in SEC play anyway, but you want to try to stretch the defense because Auburn's very quick on the defensive side. They've got a pretty good pass rush as well. When you shorten up the field like that, it gives Auburn's fast defensive backs the opportunity to create some turnovers. So I'd be very careful with that here, laying the number with Georgia this week, because Auburn can make some plays here because that field's going to be so short, because they're not going to worry about getting beaten over the top with Fromm. Georgia's defense, 7th in the country in yards per play allowed, 5th in yards per pass attempt. Auburn, 20th in the country in yards per carry allowed, 16th in yards per pass attempt. So it makes sense for a defensive struggle here in this game. What's the difference, though? What do you look at from a side standpoint? To me, the difference is Fromm versus Nix. Again, I don't think Fromm is an explosive type of player. I'm a little bit concerned long-term for Georgia heading into the bowl season that they just can't create a lot of explosive plays in the passing game. But Bo Nix, very inefficient, 12-6 ratio. Auburn doesn't have much of a running game without Jatarvius Whitlow. They've ran the ball 144 more times than they've thrown it here. If you're Georgia, you flood the box. You force Bo Nix to beat you. Can Bo Nix beat you? I don't think so. I don't think Bo Nix can beat this Georgia defense, match the point total and the output of the Georgia offense. I've got to go with Georgia here. It's a little bit square maybe, laying the 2.5 or 3 on the road, but look, Bo Nix, outside of the game against Oregon, where he had that big fourth quarter, by the way, he was terrible up until the fourth quarter. Not great against Florida, not great against LSU. He is at home here in this one, and maybe that makes the difference, but I don't think that's enough here. Give me Georgia, preferably -2.5, or you can get the -3 at plus 105 or -3 even money, something like that. If you can find a 2.5, that's the way to definitely go here with Georgia in this matchup against Auburn this weekend. I'm Adam Burke from BangTheBook.com.